And welcome to Paul's yard. I'm a little bit creased up this morning. It's very early on a Sunday morning, so anyone got an iron I could borrow to get some of these lines out? Anyway, it's time we had an update in the yard. We've been out and about everywhere. There's a bee on the gimbal. Get out of it. Whoa, hello mate, come on. Live TV. So we're going to have a bit of a fleet update. We've got a couple of jobs to do this morning. We're going to do a hyperlapse video on wheel changing because that's pretty boring really to do at normal speed. So it's a fleet update. Have a look around the yard. It's good to be back in the yard at long last. Let's hope this isn't going to come out too noisy because I still haven't got this Bluetooth microphone yet. I'm still waiting for it from Amazon. It's probably going from China. So it's been so long since we've been filming in the yard. Look at what's happened here. Everything we're growing. We've got chilies, we've got courgettes, the toms. They need pinching apparently, don't they? They need pinching. We've got to start tying them up because they'll grow. So we've got chilies and everything going on in here. So it's our little growing boxes. I have raided the strawberries, I must admit. Don't tell the wife. Every time they come up, I come over and eat one. So she doesn't think they're doing very well, but they are doing very well. Anyway, a bit of Photinia, a bit of lavender, little bird table. Right, here we go. So Metro, absolutely no problems with that, apart from the second gear synchro, which we're going to get resolved. So that's been driving fine this week. It's been used as my daily. This is the one that's still trying to sell. It's my friend's car. It's just a weird time at the moment. I think people have been a bit cautious, but that's actually for sale for £3,500. And I have done a video, so you can check back through my videos. Sorry about the wind noise. Hopefully you can still hear me. So that is still for sale, but we mentioned it was going to be replaced with another TF. And here we go. So this model is a Spark in Sonic Blue. This is very windy today. It's not a good idea this without a microphone. So he's basically given it a very, very light restoration. These are the little things that he's done on the previous one over there. That's a Sprint and this is a Spark. Slightly softer ride. So just get back to the basics. What we're going to do is the wheels are going to be refurbished. They're not bad and most people would put up with them. But Darcy's like myself. He likes your hobby car and your Sunday cruiser to be in really, really good condition. He's going to take it to lots of shows and stuff. So someone sprayed them, but not very well. I'm a furniture maker, so I know about spraying and stuff. And what someone's done is they've opened the needle up too much on the gun, so too much material's come out. And they're not the best, but they're like a shadow chrome finish, I think they're called. So we're going to whip them off this morning. They're going to go off tomorrow, straight off to be refurbished, which is about a 3 or 4 day turnaround. You'll just see that line there on the arch. That's where the mud flaps were, and somehow they got smashed. We're not quite sure what's happened there, and we're taking the wheel arch liner out. I think when it went for an MOT, it went on a low loader, and I think they were a bit rough when they took it off, and that would explain why the wheel arch liner smashed and the mud flap. So we're going to change the badge on the front. Centre caps, they're pretty reasonable, but that's not going to be good enough for my friends, so they're coming off. It's such an easy one, this. The bodywork's fantastic, and so with all old cars, you want to make sure that you don't buy a rust bucket because the paintwork can just outstrip the value of the car. So this here is all good at the back. These number plate surrounds aren't very nice. They're a bit tacky in our opinion. So they're going to be taken off, and hopefully the famous Church Square Autos, Davis Koskela, is going to supply us with a pair with Church Square on them. So that's the plan for them. So tidy them up again. Quick and easy job. Anyone who knows about the Spark, if you've owned a Spark, you never ever clean it that way, because those two edges are so vulnerable. You always clean that way. Okay, you probably know that if you've got a Spark. New badge going on the back. Yeah, very windy. Anyway, I hope you can hear me. This has a different colour hood. It's called a salt and pepper hood, which is in excellent condition. Inside, Alcantara again, branded mats. Similar sort of spec to the Sprint edition actually. You got the black dash this time though. Not sure about these accessories, these door pockets here. They look, it's tight for space in here anyway. I don't think they need to be added. I think they're going to be coming off. Knowing my friend, they'll be off. So we went to pick this up in Oxfordshire on Friday, a couple of days ago, and the first thing I noticed is how good the paint was. So this has pretty much always been undercover. That's why the depth of the paint's really good and the interior hasn't faded or cracked. It's just these little bits of trim are all stunning all round here. They normally fade, and all round here it's all jet black still. So this has clearly been garaged. Being a limited edition run, it's obviously slightly more desirable. This is what we've been holding out for this for 2 months, and we was hoping to sell the other one, but as I say, that is for sale. This has only had a couple of owners, and it's travelled all around Europe. My friend bought it off an elderly couple, and They travel around Portugal, well known on the Thames Valley register, on the MGTF register, run by Ian Wurzelwright, great guy. So this is well known, this car, and it's done long miles but not lots of stops, you know, short journeys. It's done lots of touring, which is exactly what these cars are set up for really. So it came from a nice elderly couple, so it's come from a good home, and now it's just a very, very light makeover on this car. There's no paintwork to do, a couple of touch-ins on the bonnet, but you know, you expect it. Minimal. We've got a special paint being mixed up for that, so it's going to be pretty much an exact match as we can get. So now I'm going to get on and change the wheels for him. It's a Sunday morning. I wasn't around yesterday much, I was busy working, so we're just going to get these wheels off, and he's going to put them in his Land Rover and get them off to be refurbished next week. Busy old day. We've got the wheels off of the TF Spark, ready to be refurbished next week. Had a little bit of inspection underneath, and it's all pretty tidy. It just needs a bit of a clean up, and you know, there's sort of 10-year-old dust under there. And once that's all cleaned off, I think it'll be fine. We've got a wheel arch liner to put back in, some mud flaps, wheels back on, a few decals and stickers and stuff, nothing major. So let's just go and have a little look at what I've done. Come back to this Audi in a moment. So this car was used for a lot of touring in Europe. We've got a feeling, because the mud flaps are actually almost smashed off at the bottom, and that wheel arch liner was all torn up. So either it's come off a ferry, and if you come off a ferry and you're going abroad and stuff, you meant to come off at an angle and maybe went straight off, I don't know. Or it's gone for an MOT and they've been a bit rough with it, but anyway, it's minor things, so that's all in order. That's why I don't like mud flaps and arch liners. Look at the dust that gets behind them. But that's all clear now, so this is all going to be cleaned up. I'm not going to spray anything on it, we're just going to get some cleaner on it, some degreaser, because this is a clean TF, this one. It might not look it in this, but it is. It just needs a wipe off. So all the wheels are off. They're all labelled up, because the guys normally when they take them in, they'll sort of label them up themselves with a sort of felt tip crown or something they use, like for tyres and stuff, white highlighter pen. So they're all labelled up, so they go back on, because they're all directional obviously. But yeah, I've had a good inspection underneath this one. It's very, very clean. It's got a softer suspension on the Spark. I think it's the perfect complete model. I know the 160's got more poke, but not a lot more really. If you have the ECU done and got a nice exhaust as this has got the Piper exhaust on it, that's more than enough for anyone these days, unless you're going on a track day. Talking of track days, the one that we've still got for sale, which I'm still astonished it hasn't been snapped up yet. I think if you stood next to this, you'd think £3.5 grand for that. Anyway, standard TF has a lot sort of a stiffer suspension, a bit of a harder ride. It's more track day focused, that one, and this is an almost comfortable sports car with those dampers in there. It's a lovely car. So anyway, the wheels are off. They'll be going off I think tomorrow afternoon, I think I've been advised, so that'll all be sorted. It's not my car, but I've had so many of these. I just love, you know, helping my friend do them up. And this one just needs a tickle, as they say in the game. That's all it needs. So, rest of the fleet, to say the Metro's been out today for a little excursion down by the River Thames in Walton. No problems there. This is a new acquisition we've got here. I think these two cars have got a bit in common really, because this is obviously one of the smallest Audis available, the A1, which is to 2018 obviously, and it's been superseded now. We had a Q2, but I'll talk about that another time. But this one here, I'm just going to put my sunglasses down. This one here, one owner, 9,000 miles, and always check the CD player when you buy a second-hand car. This one's got, what we got here? Brenda Lee. So I think it was should say an older lady had this one. A good old girl. This car come from Kent. Special order colour. That colour cost 1,800 quid. It's turquoise mica. So this came out in about 2010, this model, something like that. And you see a lot of students in them and oldies, as you did in the 80s with these, student car and pensioners. But this 1.4 turbo, it goes like a rocket. Might not look much, might look like a sort of pensioner's car again, you know, modern day pensioner's car, but it's not. We had a Q2 with the same engine, and this is probably 3/4 of the way. It absolutely flies. Not the best gearbox in the world, CVT. You put your foot down and it sort of needs a bit of a prompt to get going. And when it does go, it's not one you can slam down, but when it does go, it flies. And the chassis on it is unbelievable for what it is. Anyway, it's been a busy day. We're going to wrap it up now. I've done a time-lapse video. It took me 12 minutes exactly to take all the wheels off. They weren't difficult at all. I didn't even hear a little tap of anything. They just literally came off easy. So that's all set. I think we're going to upgrade those to Mike Satter wheel nuts because they're the old ones that round off. Anyway, nice to look underneath there and have a look. It's all generally tidy, this one. There we go. It's a wrap. Remember, subscribe and like and comment and share, please. New channel. So we're just getting out there. So it's just a yard update really today. And there we go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.